The role player position is extremely important. Obviously, you need your stars to get the job done, but you need the people around them to also get the job done. And we want to highlight the role players across basketball, man.
Who are some of the names y'all wrote down like in the overall pool?
Drew Holiday.
I wrote like a Drew Holiday down, but then I said, I'm gonna take out anybody that was an All-Star.
You know what? That's really fair
That's fair.
because I was looking at it and I was wondering, like, what should be the cutoff point?
Yeah,
I think that role players, they could be honestly the top second or third player on your team and still be a role player. But I want to keep it to like the guys that don't get as much love.
I agree. Anybody that know me and heard me speak about role players, I think you can definitely be an all-star role player. I think there are some all-time great role players because I don't think role players should have a negative connotation to it. But for the sake of this list, and so we can have like a little bit of a mainstream appeal to the people, because I don't want everybody to get confused on what I think a role player is and isn't. I took out the all-stars.
Okay.
So Drew Holiday, who else? Mike Conley-ish, but Mike Conley is also kind of old. So it can, it's
I feel
tough.
like there could be some exception. If you're that one-time All-Star that just got in there, or maybe.
So should we keep
borderline
Drew?
two- I think.
He averaged, 12.5 this season?
Yeah, like
I
his
think
numbers
he's like
aren't-
the ideal role player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I had the same feeling as you. Like when I was keeping certain names in it, like I had Drew, even Mikhail.
You know who's a
and
name that
OG.
came to mind? And I was like, ultimately, he is a role player. He's probably one of the best, but I don't feel like he deserves to be on this list. But like Rudy Gobert is like, I think he's, for his role of defending the rim, I think he's
to me,
literally the best
to
in
me
the world.
on technicalities,
Yeah.
I would classify him as a role player for
Right.
sure. But he's a constant defensive player of the year, $30-something million, made all-star teams. It's
Let me throw another player at you that I wrote down. No All-Stars, Miles Turner.
Miles Turner's on my list.
Miles Turner's good. I contemplated Miles Turner, but he's great. I would put him on the list for sure.
Yeah, I think he I wouldn't call it an underrated season because I think a lot of people recognize how good he is. I mean, 17 points per game last season, 18 the year before. 3-point shooting was 37% to 36% this year. And again, we talk about a 7-footer.
I raved about it. I told y'all when we do our centers list, I said all playoffs, don't be surprised if I have Miles Turner a little too high because the way he played just wasn't going to get acknowledged because Embiid, Jokic, you know what I mean? Like,
Thinking about it off the top of my mind, he'll probably end up being like 7 or 8.
Miles Turner?
Yeah. Which is pretty good considering he was either 10 or missing completely the previous seasons.
we could keep those guys on there. I just started making my list, and I'm like, damn, he probably ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. So I tried to find ways to cut off certain guys, but because like Mikal Bridges is a role player.
That's the type of players I
He's
was
just
talking
premier.
about. But
Yeah, I have OG Anunoby as
Me
an
too.
example like that too.
And having those guys on the list make it hard to have a
But OG's making
Jalen
$42 million.
Jalen Suggs.
Right.
The guys like Jalen Suggs won't make the list because we got 2 teams that gave us 4. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Mikal, OG. We already have 4. Aaron Gordon 5, Caruso 6, Isaiah Hardenstein could be 7. That's another team that got like 2 of them. What is Jalen Williams? Is he a role player or up and coming star?
I was trying to leave some of those like
I didn't put
up-and-coming
J-Dub
stars.
on my
I was
list.
trying to
No.
leave some of the up and coming stars just because I mean they're a role player just naturally because they're younger.
Jaden McDaniels.
'Cause I think
had him on
Jaden
my list.
McDaniels, I would classify him more so like a role
In my
player.
mind, and maybe y'all have a counterpoint to this, if you're one of the 2 top scorers of your team, I'm Xing you out as a role player because you're one of the you're not the focal point because you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but you're one of the focal points of the offense. I think that's where J-Dub kind of resides. And as I look at this list, I don't see anybody else.
So is Chet a role player?
I was thinking along
He's
the
a
same
young
lines.
up-and-coming
I was
star.
like,
You don't have to answer that.
These younger dudes, I
feel you. No,
Yeah.
I was just talking shit. You don't have to answer that.
I was thinking
That's a good question though.
when I was trying to do mine. I was thinking not points per game.
In a technicality, he is a role player.
But he's
But he's an
at the
up
same
and coming.
time.
Yeah, so
I was doing is like if you're not one of the top 3 players on your team, but again, it comes down to some circumstance where it's like the Lakers, like after the 2, you're basically a role player. So I think there's a lot of teams like that, but I was just
I think
gauging
you
off
can
like
be
the
the
top
second
3.
best player on your team and be a role player.
I
I
agree
think
with
Franz
you.
Wagner is a role player.
Yeah. I put him still in the up and coming star.
He's not on here because he's an up and coming star.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like to me, I would classify him as a role player.
Mhm.
But he's not on my list because he is an up and coming star. But like that's just But that I'm also a person that does not believe in my body. Not a bone in my body believes that role player is negative. I don't know why that label is so negative.
Nah, it's not. But yeah, it's become that way. It was similar to like 6-man. Like, I'm not coming off the bench because that just means I'm the 6th best player.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the reality of it. But it's also one of those things. I think there are going to be some people that you won't be able to convince otherwise. You don't think I'm a role player? Because in general, like, role player kind of gives up. I'm taking 9 shots a game. That's all I get. I get 9 touches. That's for me.
I think that conversation is tough when you have somebody who used to be the face of their franchise, and now you have to try to convince them that they're Russell Westbrook, former MVP, you're a role player now. Yeah, that conversation is gonna be tough. James Harden, you used to average 36 points. Now you're a role player, for sure. Even fandom, thinking about guys of that popular stature, to even hear role player, I think kind of throws people off. But I think if you ain't the guy, you're supporting the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how my mind works.
And
You know
some
what I
role
mean?
players be eating off that type of like thrive.
Hey,
like, hey, I'm gonna get this money because I'm finna cause this dude hell right here all game. I'm finna get all these rebounds.
You cannot win a championship without role. We've seen star-studded teams couldn't get it done because they didn't have the proper role players. They had all of the star power in the world, all of the points per games and accolades and all of that shit. But if you don't have that supporting cast, your team will not hold up that Larry O'Brien. I promise you it won't. I promise you it won't. I would rather have the proper star. Like, I would rather have the Nugget situation where I got the guy and I got the perfect role players, and I'll take that versus trying to star-stud a team any day of the week. So with that being said, the 10 guys that I have. Wait, let me read this.
Is this in order, or these are just 10?
These are just 10.
Okay.
Well, one of y'all go first.
Okay.
Because I'm
wanna go, Mike, or you
gonna
wanna
add
go?
Drew Holiday back.
So this is not in no particular order. These are just spitballing names. Even though I do believe the best role player in basketball is Derek White.
Okay.
I put him number 1, but the rest is up for interpretation because, like I mentioned earlier,
But why you put him number 1?
I think no matter where he's been, whether it be the Olympics or whether it be here and with the Boston Celtics over the last 3 years, he's a dude that can soak up minutes, rarely makes mistakes. He's the best shot blocking guard in basketball, maybe the best shot blocking guard since Russell Westbrook's prime or Dwayne Wade.
John Wall. Don't forget John Wall.
Those 2 years are really important.
John Wall.
But he's in that conversation. He has now turned himself over the last 2 years to be not a good three-point shooter, but like a knockdown three-point shooter. He doesn't ask for touches. He's going to take the primary ball handler, either him or Drew, but like interchangeably. He does everything you would want from like a premier role player in the game of basketball. And that's one of the reasons why they were dominant in the regular season and also went on to dominate throughout the
two first names I
postseason.
put down was Drew Holiday and Derek White.
Same.
Yeah.
And Derek White, you could argue that he's just been better than Drew Holiday now because, I mean, Derek White's basically in his prime, and Drew Holiday is getting to the tail end of it. But Drew Holiday is still damn good.
I would take Drew Holiday over Derek White,
I don't think they're wrong for that.
especially because of the playoffs.
I don't think you're wrong for that. But I'm not mad at having him as like the number 1 guy for Derek
JT
White.
Thor has agreed on a 2-way contract with the Cavaliers.
Shout out
Never
to
knew
him.
he wasn't with the Hornets anymore.
Mhm.
Okay.
Again, no in particular order after this. I mentioned the name OG Anunoby. It's hard for me to have him on this list, even though I agree he is a role player, but he's now making $40+ million. That's in a whole different conversation.
That's why people got to stop taking role player negative. Like, you can make $40 million as a role player.
That's
in
like
the NBA today.
22% of the total cap to be a role player.
Making
That-
almost 3 times as much as Klay Thompson.
That is why the new
Damn, yeah, that's crazy.
That's why the new generation is smart with some of the things you like. If you just do you and be who you are and be a star in your role, and you can make star money. OG Anunoby may never make. He's probably never going to make an All-Star team.
I would be surprised if he does.
Never going to make an All-Star team, but making All-Star money because he accepts his role, he thrives in it, and he does what he's asked to do. So the next time somebody want to have a negative connotation with the term role player, I'm just going to pull up his contract. I should just print his contract and put it in my back pocket anytime I'm doing some basketball talk. And the next time somebody have a problem when we calling somebody a role player and they take it in negative, I'm going to just pull out his contract and say, look, oh, what's wrong with being, you tell me what's wrong with being a role player. Because if my son, 25 years from now, was in the NBA and made $60 million a year for being a role player, I would say I would be in that stands like this. That's my son, damn it.
You damn right.
I clap as loud as if he was the star of the team. Cut it out, man.
Next guy on my list, again, no particular order. Name we mentioned, Mouse Turner. Got to be on this list. Phenomenal floor space and defense. Defensively, I feel like his defense has dropped a little bit, but he's still like the anchor of the defense. Alex Caruso. Got to watch him here in Chicago for the last, 3 seasons, and there's not many people better defensively, and he turned himself to a 40% three-point
I
shooter.
think he's honestly like top 5
wouldn't be mad
in
at it.
terms of like role players.
All defensive team,
He
multiple
would
years.
be, but it's he kind of on the outside just a little bit because there's some heavy hitters up there.
Also got Aaron Gordon.
Like him, I'm putting Aaron Gordon over Caruso.
That's tough, man. I can't blame you. I literally have Aaron Gordon like right next to him on the list.
Me too. I have him right above him. That's literally my top 5, and then Caruso is 6.
Then I have Jaden McDaniels. All defensive team, catch and shoot, can do a little bit of. All defensive team is where he holds his hat. How about
You was
that?
getting
I would
that
give the
Derrick
other
man
guy-
Yeah.
can do a little bit of
Yeah,
everything.
you see, I stopped myself
Right.
right.
it out.
I'm giving the other guys a little bit of an edge.
Yeah,
over here.
yeah. Again, no particular order.
I still love the defense though.
I also got
Who you taking, Jaden McDaniels or Josh Hart as a role player?
Josh Hart, honestly. If I need a stopper, then it's Jaden McDaniels. But if I have somebody that can play the defense, you don't got to be at like Jaden McDaniels. But Josh Hart, I'm taking that.
I'm
That's
going
a
with-
coast-to-coast guy.
Jaden McDaniels for the defensive stopper,
Okay.
where I feel comfortable with him guarding multiple positions all game long, and not just doing it successfully. So I'll go with that. Even though I think that Josh Hart does more of everything, but I'm thinking about that one skill of the defensive side of the ball. This 5 people in the league better than Jaden McDaniels at that. I'm just gonna take that over the rebounding and the hustle of
In the playmaking.
and the heart of Josh.
He ain't no slouch on defense either.
Yeah, no, not at all. Then I got a guy in Herb Jones, same conversation as Jaden McDaniels, but he also could put it on the floor just a little bit. Got
That
some
little bit is much significant over Jaden McDaniels.
got some left-handed bias there. You got the 6th man of the year this year, Nas Reed, on my list. And let me know what y'all does Draymond Green classify?
I was thinking about him. I think it was time to just leave him off a little bit.
Okay. I ain't mad at
But
it.
I didn't make him, but I think he deserves.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand, once I kind of thought like I'm gonna lead the All Stars off, guys like him stopped coming to my mind.
Yeah, I see
But
that.
now that we
I mean, he
accepted
was
what it is,
yeah.
Draymond should be on the list. Yeah,
Because when last I made the All-Stars, 2-3 years ago?
yeah.
2022. Don't feel like that long ago. Golly.
A name that you didn't mention,
Mm-hmm. I got
Octavius Caldwell-Pope.
Yep,
ACP?
I got him on my list too.
I'm mad at that. Also had, and this is a big stretch because he's like, I got him, but he's like, I don't even have anything filled in here, but he's below these dudes.
Mhm.
Grayson Allen shot 40.
I have
something
Grayson.
okay.
He didn't make the 10, but I have him on my
That's
pool.
exactly how I feel. That's exactly
He is
how I
my
feel.
pool.
Like
You know
he
who I
has
have
to-
on my list? Because Malik Monk,
I thought about
Not mad
Malik
at
Monk,
it.
but I didn't put him in there.
bro, he was so good last
He
year.
was. You know who else made my thing? Jared Allen. Because I'm like, it's not enough center role players.
Yeah.
I had Aaron Neesmith. This is just all the. This is the
Oh,
Aaron
Aaron
Neesmith's a good
Neesmith
one.
was
I think
fantastic.
Nimhard's gonna be.
I
in
had
this
Nimhard right
conversation
there.
for
He
sure,
was
for
in,
sure.
he was in my top 5 of names when I was just writing down. Nimhard is up there. Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Suggs, Derek Lively, and Mike Conley, and Isaiah Hardenstein. I put 2.
Is that
Mike
Hartenstein's a
Conley
good
was
one.
really good too.
So who is y'all number 1 role player?
Derek White is my number 1.
I'm okay with Derek White. He was number 2 on my list, but he could be better than Drew.
I got Drew too as
That's
number 1.
2-1, yeah.
So
Well,
they
I
are
don't
our
They
top
are
2,
the
though.
top 2.
Okay. I can argue that, but I won't, because I ain't mad at that. Because I think OG and Mikal Bridges, there's an argument where, I mean, they are as best as it gets. Same
I
with
mean,
Aaron
when
Gordon.
it was honestly, we seen Mikal with the Nets, and we kind of looked at him a little different. But on the Suns, we knew. He
Yes.
was, so I'm not mad at Mikal being on this list.
Yeah, I think Mikal could be there, but who would y'all put at number 3? You got Mikal, OG, Aaron Gordon, Alex Caruso.
I love me some Caruso. I think Aaron Gordon deserves to be up there in that conversation too.
Guys like Mikal and OG have a higher offensive upside than Alex Caruso, while providing similar defensive impact. So they'll probably be a little bit higher than Alex Caruso.
OG or Mikal?
Mikal.
Probably Mikal.
Okay.
Even OG's impact on actually winning basketball is insane.
I don't know if it's because I watched more the Knicks versus the Nets, but I was on the favor of OG. But y'all
OG.
both said Mikal.
Let's
so
go.
I put-
I'm gonna go with Mikal for the Iron Man aspect of it all.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Because if we could have used that Iron Man aspect this
Yeah.
postseason. So sure, I give you that. OG or Aaron Gordon for the 4th spot. Or if there's anybody else, y'all don't have to go off the names I'm naming.
I'm not mad at Aaron being here. But I also think that he just benefits from having the perfect two-man game with Jokic.
Yeah. I would go OG here just for the little bit more, I guess, variety, like being able to knock it down a little bit more. Feel like the defense is a little bit better. Even though Aaron Gordon has a more size, OG got it on the perimeter.
Let's run OG. He was in DPOY conversations before his injury.
OG. Aaron Gordon, Nas Reed, Caruso, or Miles Turner too.
Oh, I forgot Turner was on this list. I think that Alex Caruso is like, when you think role player, he is the perfect embodiment of that. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. If I had to put a if I made 2K and I said an archetype is role player and I had like 3 guys, Caruso would represent the guards probably.
Then the best thing about him, we talk about OG making $40 million.
He's making 8.
9.
Alex
yeah.
Caruso make $9 million. Like, that's insane.
But now he gonna get that extension for like 15 to 20.
He's gonna get paid.
And he deserves
Still
it.
won't be 40 million.
Still won't be 40. What does he have to do to get to 40? He got to shoot 70%.
Be younger. Be younger.
Yeah, because what he just hit 30.
Did he?
I think so. I think he
Oh,
just hit
shit.
30. Caruso, baby.
I'll put Aaron Gordon at 5.
Yeah, he just hit 30.
It's not just the system. That's what he do.
I think he helped amplify the system. He was like the perfect thing. But
I'm trying to figure out, okay, when you ask that, if we replace Aaron Gordon with somebody else, do we feel like it'll still be as successful? I feel like no.
Somebody else.
I'm trying to think about another high flyer, but like,
No,
it
because
doesn't
I mean,
exist. I don't
again,
think so.
I was really impressed at how well like Aaron Gordon just was able to be kind of like a primary ball handler for the Denver Nuggets in terms of like they'll have Jamal Murray and Jokic doing some action over here, or he'll be looking for Jokic on a early post touch. Like, not everybody could just do that and be successful at it.
Random note. When I first got my Xbox years ago to play program with y'all, you had like an Aaron Gordon power forward type of build that I loved. I don't know why you ventured off from that. Now you just strictly
What year
guard.
was that?
This is, man, Kyrie was on the cover, I want to say. This is when I first got the X. This not even
remember a long
Xbox. This is
time ago.
last gen.
I remember a long time ago, I used to do these things where I'll make like a rebound and 3. So he'll be like basically a center, but he'll be playing a 3 and he'll have
I
some
think
little bit
this is,
shoot.
yeah, I think this might have been that type of player.
Mhm.
You don't make those type of guys no more. You make 19 guards, straight point guard or nothing. We could put Aaron Gordon at 5. You got a PKB?
No, I'm just thinking.
What you thinking about?
Caruso or Miles Turner.
No, I'm thinking about lunch. I can't lie to you. Like, you know, we leave the podcast studio. You always
Hey.
think
I'm
like,
hungry as hell. I got.
Hey, you know what you get for lunch, KB? Go.
What the hell? Hey. You know what you get for lunch? Then hesitant.
You know what I had twice in like the past 3 days?
That's why he hesitated.
Jason's Deli.
Jason's Deli is a hit.
I don't know. I've never had
Amazing.
Jason's.
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, I know exactly what I said too.
Amazing.
Jason's Deli is a hit.
I
What
be
you
getting
get?
the hearty ham sandwich.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
I get the.
You
it's-
go there or you get it delivered?
I go
go
there.
there. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't no way in hell he getting it delivered.
Yeah, true. They got multiple locations though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, though.
You ever got the baked potato from them?
Nah.
That motherfucker is massive. I got a baked potato from them once and was mad because I'm like, why did you give me this big? Like, I can't eat this. This is insane. That's our top 5: Drew Holiday, Derek White, Mikal, OG Anunoby, Aaron Gordon.
You know, Alex Caruso's name is Alex Caruso, not Alexander Caruso or anything like that.
Alex Caruso.
It's really just Alex.
I think he's related to that dude off Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh, I hope not.
Caruso.
Episode 1,
he was
Caruso dropped a
very-
hard R.
Yeah. Is Caruso 6 or Miles Turner?
Bro, I can't keep
Based-
watching Miles drop, bro. But then
Based off last year, I think it's got to be Miles Turner. But I think Caruso is one of those people that's like, he embodies the role.
We
player.
watching Caruso drop too.
Yeah. I put
This
my
is why I
push
didn't
in.
want to have Drew Holiday's on the list.
I'm not
Yeah.
mad with Drew Holiday.
Because now we get to say, I'm not mad at either, but now
Drew Holiday's 1 year removed from being an all-star.
No, he absolutely is. He absolutely is. But if we made some type of thing where, man, you can't make over $30 million, this list looks a lot different now. Or there's no OG. Mikal barely makes it. We're gonna put, like Mike said, based off last year, Miles Turner. It's also hard to be a really good, valuable role player when you play for the Bulls. So shout out to Caruso. Now we'll put Caruso. Now Nas Reed KCP or Herb Jones or Josh Hart or Jaden McDaniels.
Sheesh.
Somebody ain't making this list.
I'm gonna go. Well, it was Nas Reed. Who else?
Josh Hart,
Josh Hart,
KCP.
Herb Jones.
Herb Jones.
Jaden McDaniels.
Golly,
3
I'm
spots
always
left.
Gonna be team not on Herb in most conversations. So I'll put a bid in for Herb Jones here. But also not mad at Nas Reed.
I was thinking either Nas Reed or maybe Josh Hart. I think it's got to be Nas Reed. If we kind of going a little bit off last year, nobody was off that bench better than Nas Reed.
What I will say, when I'm thinking about, like, again, just the true definition of, like, the visually role player, it's like Alex Caruso, Josh Hart.
Same.
Like,
We
if we
need to
get
do
rid of
one.
all
And
of
I'm
the
thinking
other
of that
stuff,
playoff run. Yeah,
We might need to
boom.
do one where we have the Drew Holidays on the list, the
and then
official
one
list,
without it.
and then one we could do a quick one where it's like if you're
I'm
making
putting
this
Josh
much
Hart
money
after
or whatever,
Caruso.
like
I'm putting
you don't
Josh
worry.
Hart after Caruso.
No, Josh Hart's not above
I'm
Herb and
Hey.
who else? Nas Reed.
based off them playoffs, it wasn't too many guys that was
That was
hooping
grabbing
like Josh
20
Hart.
rebounds
Come
for
on,
the
man.
team.
Come on, man. Come
20
on, man.
rebounds.
Come on, man. Coast to coast, hitting 3-point shots. Come on, man. Offensive rebound. Like, come on.
He played
40
out-
minutes?
He played out his body.
40 minutes?
He played out his body.
He was
Man that never hit
amazing.
4 threes in a game did it back to back to back. That's otherworldly. That's otherworldly.
The last 2 spots, I can go Nas and Herb. I could give you that.
Herb too fucking low.
Now we finna do a list where you're gonna be a little higher. All right, so number 1 role player.
Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso.
What is the thing? We're taking out
All stars
and
and
high
max
contract,
players,
yeah,
near
max
max
contract
players.
players.
So, who is number 1? Derek
Alex
White. No,
Caruso.
Derek White still. Derek White.
No, it's Caruso. I mean, Derek White just signed for $30
He
million.
did sign for 30. Man, we can't have a list and ain't no Derek White. I'm sorry. We got to redo this. We got to figure something out.
Is he the exception? But then we gonna have to make exceptions for other people.
Right. Then the list gonna be exactly the same.
Derek White, I feel like, has to be on the list, man. There's no other way to categorize him other than role player.
He had all-star buzz from JJ
He
Redick
did.
before.
He did.
last
He
season.
did. He did.
Uh,
I'm putting Derek White on this damn list. Derek White,
he shot 40% from 3 on 7 attempts this year.
Alex Caruso,
He was dangerously
Josh.
close to 50, 40, 90.
Josh Hart, Aaron Gordon,
Aaron Gordon.
Herb Jones.
But you see
Jalen
what the
Suggs,
mold is for these
KCP.
dudes? Like, there's a real mold for these dudes. It's defender that can hit a 3. All of the guys you got there, except for Aaron Gordon, because he can't shoot anymore. But everybody else there is defender who can hit a 3. That's what a role player is in basketball. The prototypical role player is somebody that can sit in the corner, hit a shot, and defend your best player.
It sounds like you just discovered something.